Hi guys, there's something a bit different today. I am in the car driving all the way up to York, which is about 5.5 hours from where I live. Um, Longer than that because I'm in yet another traffic jam. And I thought that it would be a good opportunity to have a little chat because I haven't had a little car chat for a while. It's always just running around the yard photographing stuff. Apologies if we got a bit of shake on the camera. I've had to grab something from the petrol station on the way up because, as per normal, I'm not a YouTuber and I forget to do all the things I should do as a YouTuber, which is carry kit. And I must have about 10 cheap phone holders from exactly the same reason as I've been driving on. I thought, well, it makes me use of the time in the car. So, what is there to chat about? About what's been going on, about some of the recent videos, some of the feedback I've had from one of the recent videos. One thing I wanted to cover specifically from the recent videos is just to have a chat about it is part exchanges. And I put out a video that said that I didn't negotiate when selling my cars. So when someone came to buy, I wouldn't discount the price because I'd already put it up at a fair price, and the level of work I'd done prep wise on it meant that I wouldn't take a discount, especially because if someone has a problem with the car later on, I am going to do the fix for them. And if I gave everybody a couple £100 off of the cars when they came to buy them, some people want even more, then that money wouldn't be there to then, if they had a problem, go, no problem at all, bring it in, we'll get it sorted for you, we'll get it fixed for you, without any quibbles. Because if you're going to work off of slim margins, then you're going to start to work to the left of the law more and say, well, hold on, actually, that definitely was working at point of sale, and you've done enough miles to, based on the age of the vehicle, to say that's fair wear and tear, which you can do as a dealer. That's perfectly legitimate to do. If you can prove that an item worked on a vehicle when the vehicle went out, and that it wasn't starting to fault at point of sale, or you've done enough miles to say that it's just normal wear and tear past that point, then you don't actually have to repair it. Especially, like I say, the older the car is, the more leeway you have there, because it's fair to say that if you buy a vehicle that's 13 years old, that pretty much all the parts are wearing out. So someone's managed to drive off the edge of the dual carriageway into the verge, which is why I'm in slow moving traffic, because everybody's rubbernecking. There's actually nothing on our side of the road at all. While I'm on the subject of, I like a good old car ran, the quality, every time I get on motorways and dual carriageways, the quality of driving terrifies me. If our motorways would be so much clearer, if people learned that once you've overtaken something, you immediately move back to the left. We have 4-lane motorways absolutely blocked because the inside 2 lanes are pretty much empty, and everybody's on the outside lane because they're looking 2 miles ahead that they might want to overtake a truck up there. Drives me absolutely nuts. Anyway, enough of that ranting. I just wish that you're enforced to have driving lessons on the motorway, to ensure that you actually understood how they work. People just, if you're so nervous driving on the motorway, you stick yourself in the middle lane and never pull over, then you shouldn't be on the motorway in the first place, I'm afraid. Gosh, this really is wobbling. Might make the video totally unwatchable. Might have to bin this all together. Anyway, so go back to my point. I was saying I don't give discounts on my cars because I prep them properly. They've normally got an advisory-free MOT. Don't leave anything on it that's coming up for you to repair. Do oil and filters if they're due within the sort of next 6 months or so. Do oil and filters. Most of the time doing cam belts if cam belts are due, or at least doing them for a massively discounted price. Do the body work. You very rarely buy a car from me with scrapes and scratches on it. Do the wheels. In vast majority of cases, unless it's an incredibly cheap car. When I talk about incredibly cheap, I'm talking sub £2,000. So the cars go out fully prepped. So therefore, and if you have a problem with them later on, I honour the warranty and I fix it. So therefore, giving discounts would mean that I would have to draw back on some of that. I'd have to stop doing bits of paint, stop doing some of the wheels, stop being so lenient on warranty repairs because I didn't have the margin to do so. So when I put that comment in my video, a lot of people came, when I put it on TikTok, the same thing. Said, this is so unfair. It's a totally unfair playing field. How come you're allowed to negotiate on my part exchange? So I thought, good opportunity to have a discussion about why that is, because most people don't seem to understand it. Some people I think are being belligerent. Some people just genuinely feel it's not fair. Normally because they've got really nice cars they look after really well, and they feel the price they get for the car is still too low. So I thought it'd be worthwhile, without sort of just having a dig at people, just explaining how it works. So why do I get to negotiate in your part exchange and you don't get to negotiate on my car? Well, one, the biggest one for me, when you bring me your part exchange, you are not going to give me 6 months consumer rights on it. If your car has either a hidden fault that you've not disclosed or one you're unaware of that comes to light later on, I have no recourse with you at all to get any money back off of you. I have no recourse to have you repair the car. So that's the biggie for me. Straight away out the gate, when you buy my car, you have 6 months consumer rights, up to 5 years actually is your consumer rights, but 6 months in which I have to prove the fault didn't exist at point of sale. After 6 months, if you can prove the fault didn't exist at point of sale, you can still have it repaired. So it's up to 5 years. I don't get any of that cover buying from you. It's the minute I've purchased that car from you, I've taken it in part exchange, I have zero comeback. So the playing field, is completely different straight out the gate. I have a high level of risk when I take your car in. Number two, my car is on Auto Trader already saying what its fair retail value is based on a national average. Your car doesn't have that. You don't know what the trade value is. You can't go in and see what the cap figure is for your vehicle, with the cap being the industry standard for the trade value of your vehicle. There's no way you could log in as a consumer and see that. So you don't actually know what the price is. What you've done is look at other cars out there similar to yours, assumed what a dealer's margin should be, and then said, well, that sounds like a fair part exchange price. You can go to platforms like Parker's and Auto Trader, but they're not giving you the cap valuations. They do via their own metrics. No dealer works off those metrics. To be honest, the one that's and you won't like to hear it, the one that's the closest to actually true trade figures is We Buy Any Car. That's the true trade figure. So most people think that We Buy Any Car prices are outrageous. We'll go on to cover why those figures do make sense. So you don't know what the true trade value of yours is, whereas when you come to buy my car, you know what the retail value of my car is. So there has to be a negotiation, because you're coming with a figure that you've sort of decided yourself, thought up yourself through a little bit of research, versus what the actual true trade value is. So that's the second reason that I'm able to negotiate, because you might not know the difference. Number three, why I'm allowed to negotiate, is because you've lived with your car for however long. There's a lot of things you'll have lived to accept on your vehicle that you don't know need to be sorted out, that will need to be done before the car can be retailed, and you don't know what the costs of fixing those things are because you're not regularly doing them like I am. So you might have scraped the corner of your bumper and think nothing of it. What you don't realise is now, in this day and age, with the price of paints and the mobile guys, if I pay a mobile guy to do that paint corner, it's £125. You might never dream it's that much money. Some of you might have done the research, but most of you won't understand. A lot of people seem to think it's free for us to fix the cars. Oh, you're a dealer, so it's free, or it's a lot lower cost. It's not a lot lower costs, and it's certainly not free, and it's not a lot lower cost normally, because we want it faster than anybody else. So we pay a bit of a premium to get people to jump to it and come and do our work for us. So those things add up. Did you know that a diamond cut alloy for me costs, like, I think the last one I did was £150? People are jumping in the comments, I can get one done for you. You're not getting them diamond cut for 50 or 60 quid. Nowhere diamond cuts alloy wheels really properly for less than about £100. So if you've scuffed a couple of your wheels, sorry for the light, I can't do anything about it, I'm driving along. Yeah, sorry about the light, there's not an awful lot I can do about it. So yeah, if you scuff your alloy wheels that are diamond cut, the repair costs across 2 or 3 of those can add up to hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Depending on the make, the model of the car and its value, they will absolutely have to be diamond cut, or they could just, if it's a cheap car, they'll use spray black, but even that is like 80, £100 a wheel. So, and also then when you look around the car and you see other mechanical things, you might see that a couple of tyres are definitely going to have to be replaced for the MOT. Again, remember, mine's coming out advisory free, so you don't have to worry about that, mine. but a couple of tyres on yours might be coming up for, need to be replaced for an MOT. I can see your discs and pads might be replacing. So again, I get to negotiate because my car's going out advisory free MOT. You know that somebody independent has confirmed all those things are good. Your car, no one's done that check on it unless you're bringing it to us with a brand new advisory free on MOT as well. So that's another reason to negotiate. You don't know the true costs of what it costs to actually fix a lot of the parts on your vehicle that would need to be done to retail it. I forget what number we're number 4 now. Is that a second, third? I don't know. I'll edit this later on. It'll be wrong anyway, and you'll all like to tell me it's wrong, and that's good because we get lots of comments for it. My next point for why we're allowed to negotiate is, one, we don't necessarily really want your car. You came to us to buy a car. We didn't ask you to come to us to sell us a car. Now, yes, it can be good for getting stock in, but what you'll bear in mind is if that part exchange is something you're not going to retail yourself and you take it in, you cannot get your profit out that first deal until you've sold this car. That means you've either got to send it to auction or you've got to prep it for retail. So there's definitely going to be a good number of weeks before you make your money out of the deal. So you can't put the money back in your bank account that you used prepping that vehicle that you, the customers, just bought. You can't get your profit out of it because that money's not in your bank account. You're not going to get the profit out of it until you sell the second car. So people go, oh, well, you're making 2 lots of profit. Well, you're making, yes, if you can, one, you're making 2 lots of profit only if you can retail the part exchange. If you're sending it to auction, you might make a couple £100 on it at best. So it's not 2 lots of profit. But if you are making 2 lots of profits, it's now going to be over a course of maybe 8 weeks rather than just 4 weeks for the one. So there's hassle. Basically what I'm saying is there's hassle and there's cash flow implications of taking your part exchange in rather than it being a straight deal. So if we are going to do it, it needs to be done at a strong enough margin that it's worthwhile doing. So again, that's why we'll negotiate at the part exchange. So to recap where we are with that, why is it okay for me to negotiate on your part exchange but for you not to negotiate on my car? My car, you already know the price is fair. You've checked it out before you've come because you've got lots of guides to tell you what the value of my vehicle is. My vehicle is a fresh advisory free MOT on it. The paintwork's done, the wheels done, mechanical issues are done, and it has an advisory free MOT on it. It also has up to 5 years consumer rights on it if you're having a problem with the vehicle. The vehicle you're buying me doesn't come with you don't know what the trade value of the vehicle is, so you're kind of guessing what its value should be. It doesn't come with any consumer rights. It rarely comes to me new advisory free MOT. It rarely comes to me without needing some paint on the corners or on the alloy wheels. It rarely comes to me freshly serviced. So, and also there's the added hassle that when you part exchange that car with me, that it is going to take me longer to draw my profit out of the first car I've sold to you, to put the cash back in the bank and to help cash flow. So those are the reasons that, hopefully that makes sense, that I am allowed to negotiate and you're not. I am sure in the comments down below there will be lots of people disagreeing with elements of that. But the reality is, again, I would come back to, it's as simple as this. If you're not happy with part exchange prices, don't part exchange, sell it yourself privately. The reason most people part exchange is because they don't want to sell it privately, they don't want the hassle, they want the deal done quickly. And at the end of the day, it has to be worthwhile for the dealer to do it. No one's holding a gun to anyone's head to bring a car to us. And if someone offers you a part exchange price you're not happy with, walk away from the deal or buy the car and sell your vehicle via some other means. That's all within your rights to do it, and no one insists you do otherwise. So as to what's been happening otherwise, that we're keeping busy. We are having a fairly slow month this month compared to last month, last few months. Well, I did take a long break the month before last, didn't I? So we didn't have a busy one then. But last couple of months have been busy. We did an awful lot of retail last month, more retail than we normally do. And that has given us, because all the cars weren't fully prepped, that kind of hurt us this month. Because all the cars weren't fully prepped from last month and sold, we spent quite a bit of time this month prepping those cars rather than prepping new cars for sale. So we didn't actually have an awful lot of vehicles up for sale on the website or on the platforms. So that's kind of taken some of the momentum out of the out of the retail sales this month. What I've done to try and counteract that is to just head down, get as many cars now 100% prepped as we can, fully MOT'd, fully serviced, fully valeted, paintwork done, so that we can have a load of cars up for sale that are absolutely ready to go out the door immediately, and then we can have a big end of the month and hopefully a decent December, because December can often be good. But this game is all about the big peaks and troughs, and the longer I do it, the more relaxed I get about it. I don't panic and reduce prices, because I find that consumers buy, they're a bit like sheep. Everybody seems to buy at once, and if you reduce prices when people aren't buying cars, then you end up then just getting the sales later on. Then the phone starts ringing off the hook when people are ready to buy, and you just end up selling the cars for a lower amount. Sometimes I've even had examples where people haven't even seen the lower price, so I know for a fact it wasn't the lower price that was drawing them in. So I kind of just sit it out and use it as an opportunity just to get as much prepped as I possibly can. I am currently sitting in the Range Rover from the James Chops versus Car Key Challenge with Jamie from Car Lateral. This went in for an MOT this morning and came out advisory free. Interestingly, a few things that you'll see in Jamie's video, if it's come out before this video goes out or if it's afterwards. So a few things that were noted on this Range Rover. I have to say the MOT test said this thing is super clean. He said this thing spent its life on motorways. The underside of it's really clean. Now, obviously, we're in Devon, so he's used to looking at the underside of Range Rovers and Discoveries that spent their entire life driving up and down lanes. But he said the underside of this is really clean. He said I had no play in any of my suspension or any of those kind of things. I did change a tyre out before it went in, because one of the tyres was low. That was noted on Jamie's report with the guys. I swapped it for the spare for the moment until I get a tyre on the other one. And the report said that the outside temperature reading wasn't correct, but I don't know what's happened. It's been absolutely fine. It's reading correctly, totally correctly as it stands right now. I had no issue with that at all. So yeah, no advisories on the MOT. We've just gone past 110,000 miles in it, and it will be going up for sale on the site now. Hopefully it doesn't sell, because in between using my own cars, I do like using this. It is a beautiful car to drive, and doing a journey like this over 5.5 hours, I wouldn't want to be in anything else, to be perfectly honest. I know people say these are all about looking good and looking minted, whatever, blah blah. Well, this is 10 years old, so this is looking minted. It's affordable for most people, this car, although the running costs can be high. Although I'm doing 40 miles per gallon on the motorway at fairly decent speeds. I use this all the time for this is great for, I shouldn't say it, but throwing wheels in the back, car parts in the back. It's got a big old boot. It's just a lovely, lovely place to be. And yes, you can spend all your time worrying about what might break on them, what it might cost, but when you're driving them about in this comfort, a lot of that can be forgotten. You could do that with any vehicle, couldn't you? You could put off buying any vehicle you've always wanted, because you can hear horror stories of how much they are to repair. But touch wood, we've got an independent Land Rover specialist report and an independent MOT that says this is a decent car, and we've done thousands of miles in it now, and it seems okay. It's famous last words. I've still got quite a bit of my journey to make, haven't I? Famous last words. Now, hopefully you haven't missed it, but our latest raffle is now live. I'll put a picture of the car in the corner. The Mercedes C220 CDI, CDI Coupe AMG Premium. I don't know my Mercedes very well. All I know is it's a bloody lovely car with that 2.1 diesel in it. It's an absolute flyer, but it's great MPG. The auto box is lovely and smooth. You've got the pan roof, the leather and suede interior. It is a fantastic car. We're helping out Torrington Food Bank with this one. I think around Christmas is a good thing to be helping out. And as I've said before, having done this for a while with the charities, we did some bigger charities before, and we sent the money to them, and they never even noticed it had gone into their account. Once we started doing smaller charities, the response was fantastic, and it just goes a lot further. So we'll be out. So we're continuing to work with some local ones. If you want to suggest some other smaller local ones, by all means do. Massive thanks to everybody that's got involved in the charities in the past. I know I keep my list down, but I know it's well over £30,000 we've given to charities since we've been doing these raffles. It's good for everybody, isn't it? Even if you aren't a winner of the raffle, you know you've helped out a local charity and made some difference. If you are the local, and if you are the lucky winner, you get a fantastic car for peanuts. That car was sold to me by a subscriber, and I just want to put a massive thanks. I was just speaking to one on the way up here now, actually, looking to sell me another Mercedes. I just want to say a massive thanks to all those people that take the time to bung me an email, go on the website, give me a call when they are looking to sell their car. Unfortunately, in front of us, we have another accident. Yet again, somebody has not left themselves enough space in slow-moving traffic and smashed into the back of somebody else, and now that's caused yet another tailback. So we can get some speed up now. But yeah, massive thanks to everyone that takes the time to get in touch when they, sometimes it's friends, family, or themselves who's looking to sell a car. And it does make life a bit easier when people are doing that, because I don't have to go trawling through the auctions. And as a general rule, everybody is very straight and honest about their cars. A broken down Kia, you don't often see those, do you? Anyway, now the back traffic's got up to proper speed again, I should be concentrating on my driving. So thanks for tuning in once again to Chop's Garage, a real life car trading channel, and I hope to see you on the next one. I'll put a link to the raffle in the video description down below. I'll put a barcode on screen, or just search Chop's Garage raffle in Google.